you very much. I'd like to invite as well a representative from civil society. Like I said, this is a concerted effort, and so all the key stakeholders were playing a role one way or the other to get the fight going, and we cannot leave out civil society and the role they're playing. David Afreh with the Stop TV Partnership will be sharing what civil society is doing in Ghana to eradicate TB. Please put your hands together.
Thank you so much. Mr. Chairman, all protocols observed. Since we are a bit late, I won't be able to list all of that. Civil society is also happy, extremely happy that today there is what we call the parliamentary caucus. And we look at that as a kind of legislative arm to drive policy in and around TB control in Ghana. Well, whilst we meet to launch this caucus, something comes to mind of NGOs, community-based organizations, and all other actors, and the very people living with the disease. So what time is it in Ghana as far as TB control is concerned? Where are we? There are very burning issues, and there are hard facts. They can be blended politically, they can be blended economically, but whichever way you go, they all affect the people living with the disease, found or not found, or missed. Civil society would like to present a special petition to the chairman of the caucus. Geneva this year, there will be the high-level political meeting on TB. Civil society will want the TB caucus, as it's being launched, to ensure the President of Ghana, His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo, participate in that meeting in Geneva this year. That is a New York, thank you. And that is one burning issue civil society would like the caucus to take up for us. One interesting thing that is coming up is the HIV fund. Civil society is fully aware of the Ghana AIDS Act and the current LI on HIV fund. Unfortunately, the HIV fund is not integrative of TB. And so before that law is passed, the Stop TB Partnership and the T-Voice Network, and for that matter, all the people living with TB, would want to say that that law must have a full integration of TB financing. We want to say that the parliamentary caucus must become very interested in the country policy mechanism of Ghana. It's an issue. We want to see how the MPs can involve in CCM and ensure that we drive that agenda, especially when Global Fire is thinking about winding out and seeing how we can sustain the work of CCM. And so, by that, one burning issue is that the Ghana Parliamentary TB Caucus must actually be interested in community system strengthening in Ghana. And when we say communities, we are talking about the NGOs, we are talking about people living with the disease, or who have lived with the tuberculosis and are championing it working. One interesting thing that we need to know as a burning issue now, out of the patient health analysis, is that 50% of Ghanaians seek care at the non-formal sector. And interestingly, TB care is not really at the non-formal sector. And that tells us how can we arrive at hard facts. One of those hard facts is that Ghana has 45,000 people to detect each year for TB and treat. But we have never been able to go beyond 16,000, where are the rest 30,000 and above. Now, as we speak, interestingly, Ghana owns Global Fund, more or less $20 million as against counterpart funding. And what makes it more interesting is that Ghana has never been able to bend 100% of the Global Fund that is given to us. Meanwhile, this year, for example, the program manager states to the whole country that For us to have an effective national TB response, we will need to have $80 million each year. If a program that needs $80 million each year has $24 million given by Global Fund for 3 years, and somehow part of that money returns, there is a hard fact the parliamentary caucus needs to think about. Ghana has more than 270 NGOs working in TB. As we speak, we have just about 45 that have been engaged under the Global Fund. Whereas we have over 35,000 people missing and yet to be found. And some will never be found until CSOs are involved in search for those missing cases. So for example, under CSO, under NFM1, Global Fund was to Ghana about 24 million, and 0.3% was given to CSOs, and they contributed 6% case notification to the national response. If 0.3% financing can give 6% of achievement, you can imagine if the funding was 6%, that is how one sees society. All I'm trying to say is that an empowered CSO is to rescue society. We are saying the caucus must work closely with civil society in Ghana, the Stop Tea Partnership, the Tea Voice Network. The caucus must be interested in the national response, that is financing and community systems training. And finally, whatever considering the legislative instruments for HIV, please think civil society. We are glad to be part of the parliamentary caucus match. God bless Ghana. God bless all honorable members of Parliament. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you, David, for the passion and the drive. I think the big challenge to the chair of the select committee and also to our speaker who is here with us today is getting the president to go to New York in September. That the little money that we get from international community, some of it gets sent back, and domestic financing of health, which is also part of the big campaign around universal health coverage. We are not able to mobilize what we can mobilize. And in any case, I mean, I'm standing here as a layman. My understanding is if somebody gives you money and you can't spend, why should I give you more as a government? We need to make a strong case for that to happen. And so I see that your work as the chair, you have quite a big task ahead of you to get a lot done.